In this video, we're going to look at the basics of Microsoft Word. So start of your exam, getting your page set up and things like that. Now, things may be slightly different depending on which version of Word you're using. I am using the newest version that comes with Office 365. However, most of the steps may be on different tabs, but they're pretty much the same thing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is setting up your page sizes and things like that. So as you can see, we've got all these tabs at the top. You've got things like Home, Insert, Draw, Design, Layout, and Layout is what we're going to look at today. So here you've got your margins, orientation, size, and column. These are all things that you need to be really comfortable with for the exam. So we're going to start out firstly by pressing this button here, which sticks us on to page setup. Now, as far as I'm aware, in older versions, you can go to File and Page Setup. So first things first, we're going to look at setting the page size. So first things first, you can choose what paper type you've got, A3, A4. I'd probably say more likely that you're going to be doing it on A4, so we'll click A4. And then we can change the orientation by either clicking Portrait or Landscape like that, or you can just go to Orientation, Portrait, Landscape. Again, you can change the size on this button here, as well as change the margins here as well. But if you want it all together, so you don't forget anything, you can click this button and you can go ahead and do that. Now what I'm going to do next is explain a little bit about what each of these different buttons do in a bit more detail. So I don't think it takes too much of an explanation to explain that the size dictates which paper size you have got, be it A4, A3. You can make it custom as well. Say if you had a custom project you was making, maybe he's making something that needs to be on A1 or a very specific size, and your printer could handle it, you may want to change it by changing the values directly there. Your margin is basically how far your writing goes. If I start writing here and write this is a sentence, and if I change the margins, now on this tab here you can sort of go for some preset ones. So quite often when I'm making something that I want to put on a wall or something, I don't want a little white edge, I usually start it on a narrow, which means I get a little bit more room to write, and then I just cut the edges off. Don't necessarily need to, it's just something that I personally do. But you see, it makes the space here smaller. Now if I want to do something specific, I might say, you know what, I don't want a margin. So I'll do 0, 0, 0, and 0. And you see it starts right in the top left corner. Now that's perfectly doable, and if you're making something like a PDF or something like that, where it's not actually getting printed, that'd be fine. However, if you printed this to a normal printer in A4, most of this would get cut off because the printing area is indented quite a bit. But that's setting up your margins. Your orientation obviously is portrait or landscape, depending on what you've been asked to do. And that's essentially it for setting up your page itself. So changing your margins here, changing your orientation, your paper size, and anything specific like doing an exact margin or changing the paper size to an exact measurement. So that's the first thing you're going to be doing when you start the Word section of your paper 2. You will be given a pre-created document usually. You won't be starting from scratch like I am. You'd probably have a full document that's already pre-written for you that you need to edit to make it look a certain way. Hopefully that was helpful, and if there's something that you wasn't sure on before, hopefully this has cleared this up, and I'll be continuing going through how you do all the skills for the entire Word section of the exam, and hopefully I will get through and do the entire paper 2, then paper 3.